What's up, peoples? My name is Roses of Sculpted Roses Company, and this is another episode of Behind the Scenes of a Dream Chaser, where I give you little exclusives and tidbits about my journey as a business owner and entrepreneur. Now, it has been a minute since I have uploaded a behind the scenes video, and so let's fast forward and catch y'all up real quick. I started this series, if not the beginning of 2025, the end of 2024. And in February of 2025, I started a new job, which was within my field of healthcare, and it was something I prayed for. But I soon learned that although this is something that I love and enjoy doing, it wasn't the right season for this job. And it caused me to be more intentional with myself and have to ask some serious questions and make some bold moves. And so I worked at that job for about 4 months and then ended up leaving so I could have more time to focus on my business and um, the goals that I have and dreams moving forward, because that job was greatly consuming all my time and energy, and I did not have time to devote towards this vision that God has given me. And so I had to leave, which was very sad, but it uh, gave me a chance to kind of take a step back and reflect and see, what is it that I really want? What am I trying to achieve? And are the goals that I have written and drawn out still the same goals that I want to work towards? Do they need some tweaking, adjusting? Are they big enough? So if you're an entrepreneur and you're on your own journey, these may be some of the questions you're asking or need to ask yourself. And something that I have learned through not only just reflection, but also tidbits that I picked up from the Poetry Business Network. If you're a poet out there and you want to learn how to start to gain income and make money from your craft, check out thepoetrybusinessnetwork.com. Thank me later, because that's how I got everything started within my own business, and it has led to not only making money from poetry and my craft, but connecting with other great poets and like-minded people. And it's brought me community and leadership and accountability and education. So again, make sure to check out the poetrybusinessnetwork.com. But we have monthly book readings that we do, and one of the last books, one of the lessons that I learned was talking about how we settle for things. And we all like to be comfortable, but when you are chasing your goals and dreams, being comfortable is the most dangerous place you can be at. And so I had to continue to learn how to be uncomfortable and really push myself. And when you're learning how to push yourself and you're strengthening those muscles and going through those growing pains, you get tired. It's draining. And something that I'm constantly battling and juggling is, okay, push yourself, but also rest. Push yourself, keep going, and go a little bit past your limits, but don't overdo it to the point of draining yourself out and being burnt out. And so if you are really concentrated on your goals and your dreams and you're devoted to your vision, it's going to feel like that at times. But for the majority of the time, you should enjoy the journey and enjoy the craft. And that's where I kind of found myself reflecting today. when I was younger, my dream was to play in the NBA and be the best basketball player I could be. In order to do that, I devoted a lot of time and energy not only to basketball things, but weight training and mental exercises and making sure that things outside of basketball are taken care of so I can take care of my responsibilities on the court. And I really let it consume me so much so that it also became an idol in my life. And I couldn't let this guy lead me. And so don't, side note, make sure nothing in your life comes before God. God should be first and foremost. And make sure that you're praying and asking God about what your dream is and what your vision, and wait for Him to reveal that to you and then get confirmation on that. And once that comes about, then all you have to do is keep going and keep running with it. And so I learned that one of my idols is procrastination and being comfortable. And I also learned, looking back at how devoted I was to basketball, that hey, you don't really love your dream and your vision as much as you think you do. And you still have some learning and growing to do in that area in order to get to a level of dedication that is required for the vision that you're building and chasing. And so when I thought about that, it really put things in perspective about where I am, where I'm going, and then also gave me some time to reflect, like, hey, we still got a lot to do, but there's been so much growth within your life within just the past year. And if you would have told the little boy that I was years and years ago that people would pay for your art, people would pay for your poetry, people would pay for your opinions, and they would appreciate them, my quiet, introverted self would not believe it at all and would look at you crazy. Like, okay, yeah, I'm more worried about basketball anyway, so I don't know what all this talk is about. But I say that to say, you never know how God is going to use you until you lean more into Him. You never know what God can do in your life until you trust Him with your life. And that was something I wasn't doing, if I'm being totally honest, as well. In my head, I would trust God, but when I would get confirmation or God would try to move me in a certain direction, because I couldn't always see what was ahead of me, or I was afraid to take that step, I would kind of pump the brakes or be like, I'm going to go over here and try this. And after failing miserably multiple times, I finally got to the point to where I was like, hey, my way isn't your way and it doesn't work. And so God, help me to love you more and trust you more and strengthen me more so that I can be obedient to your calling and fulfill my purpose and the vision you have for my life while I am on earth. So, something else God has been telling me is to have more of a childlike faith and don't take yourself too seriously, because one of the other things that I was thinking about the other day is my art. I'm an artist. I love to draw, paint, and do different things, but I have barely picked up a pencil and taken the time to draw on over the last few years. And it's something that bothers me, But I realized that the reason that it hasn't happened is because of perfectionist in my head. And so when it comes to art and drawing, I can be very judgmental on myself and get discouraged very quickly and want things to turn out perfect. But only God is perfect, and only God can save you. And so stop trying to save yourself. Stop trying to make things perfect, because they're not going to be. And trust and lean on Him, and be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to fall. Be willing to start all over and know that's okay. That is my message to myself, as well as anyone else who is watching and listening. Don't take yourself too seriously. Trust God first and foremost, and fall in love with your dreams, right? When you fall in love, and when you're married and you're working and you're in a relationship, it takes work, okay? So when you're falling in love with your dreams, don't expect it always to just be smooth and easy because it's your dream. It's going to require work. It's going to require sacrifice. It's going to require tears. It's going to require doubt. It's going to require fear. But once you start to be consistent and let go of everything negative that is in your mind and move forward with what God has planted within your heart, cool things happen. And I've seen it firsthand. So this is your sign to follow suit. But that's all I got for y'all today. I'm happy I got to do one of these videos. I've been meaning to do one for a while, but life comes, life goes. And so this is also your sign to just make the video, just do it and keep going. Until next time, again, my name is Roses of Sculpted Roses Company, where we are always crafting words, shaping minds, and enhancing creative experiences. If you would like to have us come out to your next event, your next show, share some poetry, curate a workshop, do some public speaking, motivational speaking, or maybe share a poem at your wedding, your next speaking engagement or conference, be sure to email us be sure to email us info@sculptedrosescompany.com. That is info@sculptedrosescompany.com. And you can follow us on all social media platforms at Sculpted Roses Company. Love y'all, and I hope you have an amazing day, night, wherever you are, and whatever time you're listening to this. Until next time.